Midnight. Ao sat up in bed, her heart pounding. Her room was silent, but something felt wrong. Then she heard it, a soft scraping sound against her window. Slowly she turned her head, her breath caught in her throat. Outside her window, in the moonlight, stood Mama Ema. Her face was pale, her eyes, now completely black. Her lips curled into a slow, chilling smile. Then, in a voice as cold as death, she whispered, "You thought you won." Bang! Ao screamed as the window shattered, and the nightmare began again. The shattered glass rained over Ao's bed as she scrambled backward, her breath caught in her throat. Her heart pounded like a war drum as she locked eyes with Mama Ema through the broken window. Mama Ema's blackened lips curled into a slow, knowing smile. Her skin was paler than death itself, and her once vibrant eyes were now empty pits of darkness. The powerful Baba Jaga had transformed her into something far worse. Ao's voice trembled. You're supposed to be gone." Mama Ema tilted her head slowly. "Gone." Her voice slithered like a snake in the darkness. "You cannot erase what is eternal." The room turned ice cold. Ao felt a dark presence press against her chest, squeezing her breath. Her body stiffened. She couldn't move. A shadow crept across the floor, slithering toward her like a living thing. Just when it reached her bed, bang, bang, bang. Someone was pounding on the door. "Ao, open the door." "It's Jide." The spell broke. The shadow vanished, and Ao gasped for air, tumbling off her bed in panic. She crawled toward the door and flung it open. Jide burst in, holding a flashlight and a small bottle of consecrated oil. Mama Bisi was right behind him, her face drenched in sweat. "What happened?" Jide demanded. Ao pointed at the broken window. She was there. "Mama Ema, she..." They turned to look. Nothing. Only the cold wind swayed the curtains. Jide's grip on the oil tightened. "She's playing with us." Mama Bisi swallowed hard. "We need to leave. Now." They didn't wait. Within minutes, Ao, Jide, and Mama Bisi were in Jide's car, speeding through the silent streets. "Where are we going?" Ao asked, still shaking. "To the only person who can help us now," Jide said. Mama Bisi frowned. "Who?" Jide's eyes darkened. "Pastor Chima." Mama Bisi gasped. "The spiritual warrior?" Jide nodded. "If anyone can break Baba Jaga's hold on Mama Ema, it's him." Ao exhaled sharply, gripping her seatbelt. "Then let's pray we're not already too late." Because somewhere in the darkness, Mama Ema was watching. And this time, she wasn't alone. The tires screeched as Jide's car came to a stop in front of a large, dimly lit church. The air felt thick, charged, as if something unseen was already watching them. Ao swallowed hard. "Are you sure he'll help us?" Jide didn't answer immediately. He simply pushed the door open. "We don't have a choice." Mama Bisi clutched her chest as they stepped inside. The church was almost empty, except for a lone figure kneeling at the altar. Pastor Chima. The moment he raised his head, it was as if he had already seen everything. His sharp, knowing eyes locked onto them. "I've been expecting you," he said. His voice was calm, but the weight it carried sent chills down Ao's spine. Jide exhaled. "Pastor, it's Mama Ema. She's back." Pastor Chima didn't flinch. "I know." Ao's heart skipped. You do." "She came here last night," he said. "Baba Jaga sent her to warn me." Mama Bisi shivered. "Warn you?" Pastor Chima stood. "That I should not interfere." Silence. Then, without warning, boom. The entire church shook. The doors swung open violently, as if hit by an invisible force. A cold wind rushed in. Then, a deep, rattling laughter filled the air. Ao froze. She knew that voice. From the darkness outside, a shadow stepped forward. Mama Ema. Her face was different now, twisted with power, her eyes glowing red. And beside her, an even darker figure loomed, Baba Jaga himself. "You think you can stop me?" Mama Ema's voice was no longer hers. It was deeper, layered, as if another being spoke through her. Jide stepped forward, gripping his bottle of consecrated oil. "You don't belong here." Baba Jaga let out a low, guttural growl. "I was here before your fathers. I will be here after your children." Then, Mama Ema raised her hand. and everything went dark. The air was thick with an unnatural force, pressing against them like invisible hands. Ao couldn't move. Her body felt paralyzed. Jide struggled, his hands trembling as he tried to open the bottle of oil. But Baba Yaga laughed again. "You think that little trick will work on me?" Suddenly, Ao screamed as a dark force flung her across the church. She hit the pews hard, pain exploding through her side. "Ao!" Jide shouted. Mama Bisi collapsed to the floor, unable to breathe. Then, Pastor Chima stepped forward. His eyes burned with holy fire. "This house is not yours, Baba Yaga," he said, his voice echoing with power. Baba Yaga snarled, stepping back. Mama Ema screamed, clutching her head. "You dare challenge me?" Baba Yaga roared. Pastor Chima didn't flinch. He raised his hands, and the entire church lit up with blinding light. Ao shielded her eyes as a mighty force slammed into Mama Ema and Baba Yaga, sending them flying backward. For the first time, Mama Ema looked afraid. Baba Yaga let out a monstrous roar as his dark form started burning. "You cannot win," he bellowed. Pastor Chima's voice thundered through the church. "In the name of the Almighty, I cast you out." A deafening shriek filled the air. Then, silence. When Ao opened her eyes, Mama Ema was lying on the floor unconscious. Baba Yaga was gone. The nightmare was over. The news spread like wildfire. Mama Ema was arrested. The authorities were left shocked and horrified by what they discovered in her kitchen. The market women who once loved her food now cursed her name. Mama Bisi and Ao became heroes, praised for uncovering the deadly secret. But even as the city tried to move on, Ao couldn't shake the feeling that somewhere in the shadows, Baba Yaga was still watching, waiting for his next move. The church was silent. The air, thick with lingering energy, felt uneasy. The wooden pews, once sturdy, now creaked under an unseen weight. Mama Ema's lifeless body lay motionless on the cold ground. Her once radiant skin was now ashen, her fingers twitching ever so slightly. Ao's chest rose and fell rapidly. Her heart pounded. She stepped forward, sweat dripping down her forehead. Was it truly over? Jide crouched beside Mama Bisi, helping her sit up. "Are you okay?" he whispered. She nodded weakly, eyes filled with exhaustion. I think so." Pastor Chima remained standing, his hands still trembling from the power he had just unleashed. His eyes were locked onto Mama Ema's lifeless frame. Something felt wrong. Then, the lights flickered. Ao gasped. Jide turned, his grip on the consecrated oil tightening. A chilling wind swept through the church, though all doors and windows remained shut. Mama Ema's fingers twitched again. Her lips parted, and then she gasped. Her body arched off the ground, her eyes snapping open, but they were no longer human. They were black, completely black. Ao screamed. Jide stepped back. "What the?" Pastor Chima's voice cut through the chaos. "No!" Mama Ema let out a deep, unnatural growl. Then, a monstrous laugh erupted from her throat. But it wasn't Mama Ema's voice. It was his, Baba Yaga. He was still inside her. Ao's stomach turned. No, this isn't happening. Mama Ema's body rose from the ground, her limbs twisting unnaturally. Pastor Chima lifted his hands, preparing to cast him out again. But Baba Yaga laughed. "Did you think it would be that easy?" Boom. An unseen force sent Pastor Chima flying backward, slamming him into the altar. He screamed in pain. Jide and Ao rushed to him, but the air suddenly grew heavy, pressing down on them like invisible hands. Mama Ema, or whatever was controlling her, slowly turned her head, cracking bones as she moved. "You may have won a battle," she sneered, her voice echoing unnaturally. "But the war has just begun." Then, the candles blew out, and she was gone. The city wasn't safe anymore. The night after Mama Ema's escape, strange things began happening. People fell sick overnight, but this time it was worse. A young woman was found with her eyes missing, her body twisted in agony. Children spoke of a dark figure watching them in their dreams. And in the heart of the market, Mama Ema's restaurant, which had been sealed off by authorities, was found wide open. Inside, the golden pot still boiled, though no one had lit a fire. And on the walls, a message was smeared in blood. I am coming back. The city was drowning in fear. Mama Ema was gone, but her presence still haunted the market. Jide and Mama Bisi knew one thing: this wasn't over. That night, the sky turned a deep red. The moon, once silver, now glowed like burning embers. People whispered. Something terrible was coming. Jide sat by his window, unable to sleep. His mind replayed the horror at the church. The way Mama Ema's body lifted unnaturally. The way Baba Jaga's voice laughed from inside her. The way Pastor Chima screamed as he was thrown across the altar. A knock on his door snapped him out of his thoughts. Bang! 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 His heart jumped. Who could it be? He hesitated. Then, bang! 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 Louder this time. Jide grabbed a flashlight and approached the door slowly. He opened it. Ao stood outside, eyes wide with panic. "We have a problem," she whispered. Jide frowned. "What is it?" Ao swallowed hard. Then she handed him her phone. "Watch this." Jide took the phone and pressed play. The footage was grainy. It was taken outside the market. A security camera recording. The video showed Mama Ema's restaurant. It had been closed for days, but suddenly, the door creaked open by itself. Then, a dark shadow emerged from within. It had no face, no features, but it had Mama Ema's shape, and as it stepped out, the camera glitched violently. Before the screen turned black, Jide's hands trembled. "She's back," Ao whispered. "She's back, and she's not alone." The next morning, the city woke up to horror. A fruit seller, Mama Chitty, was found dead in the market. Her body was twisted and deformed. Her eyes were missing, and carved onto her forehead, a single name: Baba Jaga. People screamed. Women clutched their children. The market was shut down immediately. Pastor Chima, though weak from the last battle, called Jide, Ao, and Mama Bisi. "We need to act now," he said, voice shaking. "Before more people die." Jide clenched his fists. "I say we end this," he growled. Ao looked at him, determination in her eyes. "But how?" The pastor took a deep breath. "There's only one way." He looked at them, his voice filled with fear and urgency. "We need to find Baba Jaga's real body." Ao's breath caught in her throat. Mama Bisi's face turned pale. Jide narrowed his eyes. "And then what?" Pastor Chima hesitated. Then he whispered, "We burn it." Night fell. Armed with holy oil, salt, and prayers, they made their way to a secret location, the abandoned shrine of Baba Jaga. It was deep in the forest, forgotten by time. Legends said his body was buried there, trapped in a cursed grave. As they reached the clearing, the air grew thick and suffocating. Jide gripped his flashlight. "I don't like this." Ao shivered. "Neither do I." Mama Bisi made the sign of the cross. Pastor Chima stepped forward. "This is it." The shrine stood before them, covered in vines and drenched in darkness. Jide took a deep breath. Then, with all the courage in his soul, he stepped inside. The moment Jide stepped inside, a wave of coldness rushed over him. It felt like 1,000 invisible hands were clawing at his skin. Ao and Pastor Chima followed closely behind. Mama Bisi hesitated at the entrance, her heart pounding. "This place, it's alive," she whispered. Jide swept his flashlight across the shrine. The walls were covered in strange symbols. The air smelled of decay and something rotten. Ao pointed ahead. "There! Look!" At the center of the shrine was an old wooden coffin, its surface covered in dry blood. Jide's throat went dry. This was it, Baba Jaga's real body. Before anyone could move, a deep rumbling sound filled the shrine. The ground shook violently. Then, bang, bang, bang. The coffin rattled. Something inside was trying to get out. Mama Bisi screamed. Jide grabbed his holy oil. "We need to burn it. Now." But before they could act, the coffin lid slid open, slowly. Inside lay a corpse wrapped in black cloth. It had no eyes, only deep, dark holes that seemed endless. Then it moved. The body sat up, turning its head unnaturally slow toward them. A sickening grin stretched across its rotting face. "You dare disturb me?" A voice echoed, dark and ancient. The lights went out. The shrine was thrown into pitch-black darkness. Then, Ao screamed. Jide turned, his flashlight flickering. Ow! She was gone. Pastor Chima grabbed his Bible, shouting prayers. The corpse let out a demonic laugh. You think you can stop me? It rose from the coffin, floating above the ground. Suddenly, a sharp wind slammed Jide into the wall. Mama Bisi clutched her chest, gasping for breath. Pastor Chima fell to his knees, his body trembling. The darkness grew heavier. Then a voice whispered in Jide's ear. It's over! Jide's mind screamed in "Oh!" With all his strength, he grabbed his bottle of holy oil and flung it at the floating corpse. The oil splattered across its face. Sizzle! A loud, ear-piercing screech erupted as the body burst into flames. It thrashed violently, the fire spreading across the shrine. We need to run! Mama Bisi shouted. Jide and Pastor Chima grabbed her and raced for the exit. But before they could escape, a figure stood in the doorway. Ayo! But something was wrong. Her eyes were completely black. She smiled, her voice no longer her own. You thought this would be easy. It was Baba Yaga. He had possessed Ayo. Jide's heart pounded as he stared into Ayo's eyes. They were no longer hers. They burned red, glowing like fire. A twisted smile stretched across her face. Baba Yaga had fully possessed her. Mama Bisi, Jide whispered, stepping back. This is not Ayo anymore. Mama Bisi clutched her chest, trembling. Ayo, it's me, Mama Bisi. Fight this thing inside you. Ayo tilted her head, her lips curling. Ayo is gone. Baba Yaga's voice rumbled from deep within her. You dare destroy my shrine? You will all die. The ground shook violently. The fire from the shrine roared higher, casting eerie shadows across the darkened forest. The air was thick with the scent of burnt wood and something rotten. Suddenly, Ayo lunged at them, her hands clawed like an animal. Jide barely dodged, grabbing Mama Bisi and pulling her away. Pastor Chima groaned on the ground, struggling to sit up. He was too weak to fight. Jide had no choice. If Ayo was lost, they had to survive. He grabbed the bottle of holy oil and splashed it at her. Ayo screamed. Steam sizzled from her skin, and she staggered back, clutching her face. No! Baba Yaga's voice roared. The ground cracked. Smoke rose. The spirit inside Ayo was fighting to stay. Jide turned to Pastor Chima. Pastor, what do we do? The pastor, still weak, whispered, Call her name. Ayo is still inside. She must fight. Jide and Mama Bisi rushed forward, their voices desperate. Ayo, wake up! Ayo, you're stronger than this. Ayo, it's us. Don't let him win. For a moment, Ayo's body stiffened. Her eyes flickered. The red glow faded, then returned. She groaned, clutching her head. Her body trembled violently. Baba Yaga was losing control. Jide didn't hesitate. He grabbed the pastor's wooden cross and pressed it against Ayo's forehead. In the name of Jesus, come out! Ayo let out a piercing scream that shook the entire forest. A dark mist burst from her body, twisting and writhing. It screeched, fighting to stay, but the fire from the burning shrine swallowed it whole. Boom! The shrine collapsed. The spell was broken. Baba Yaga was gone. Ayo's body went limp. Jide caught her before she hit the ground. Her eyes fluttered open. She was back. Mama Bisi fell to her knees, sobbing. Ayo, you're alive! Pastor Chima let out a sigh of relief. The battle was finally over. By morning, the news of Mama Ema's dark secret and Baba Yaga's shrine destruction had spread across the entire town. Mama Ema was never seen again. Some said she fled, while others believed the spirits took her as punishment. Ayo recovered slowly, though she never spoke of the things she saw while possessed. Jide and Mama Bisi became heroes of the town. People who once doubted them now respected them. As for Pastor Chima, he knew the battle against darkness was never truly over. Because evil always finds a way back. I hope you enjoyed the part 5 of the story which you have just watched. And if yes, what are the lessons you can craft from the story? Let's discuss them in the comment section. Please do like my video. Share to as many people as possible. Also, don't forget to subscribe to support my channel. Do hit the notification bell to keep you informed when I come up with another interesting story. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, keep watching and stay connected.